All right, so just a sort of really quick overview of something we've been doing here at Belhaven. So we are a pretty small university, only maybe 1,700 total traditional undergraduate students. And our total science majors are not high at all either. And so especially we have students, especially their freshman year, who really can't jump into the full Jupyter notebook there's too high of a learning curve for a freshman. And so using WebMO is definitely sort of ideal for the type of students we have, especially sort of first and second year, general chemistry and organic. And so I've been using WebMO for a couple of years now and developed some labs with it. But this year, instead of having sort of a dedicated server on campus that I was sort of personally managing, I decided to look into some cloud services. And WebMO actually has a very fantastic tutorial on their own website about installing WebMO in Google Cloud. So I'm not going to walk through this tutorial for you, but just to sort of even show you that it's here and available, and that they have sort of a really good sort of walkthrough about how to set this up. This website isn't very long, and it doesn't take very long either. I think I did this the very first time in 15 minutes or so. But this walks you through sort of creating an account on Google Cloud, and how to install WebMO, and then sort of through the installation process, you can actually sort of click on which computational engines you would like to install along with WebMO. So actually Psi4, but some of the other sort of free ones are sort of a one command line addition to install in WChem, MoPack, and some others. And so this was a really great sort of resource for us because we don't have thousands of students needing WebMO like Ashley mentioned at Cal Poly. We might have like 40 that might need them at a given time. So after going through this, I wanted to show y'all sort of what the Google Cloud sort of dashboard looks like. And there's lots of information here, but particularly that we have this compute engine. It looks like to be at max capacity right now. I think some students are working on some projects due for final exams that are due probably yesterday. So I have a virtual machine set up right here, and sure enough, it's telling me that I need to increase the CPU capacity because it's on max overload right now. But I think I only have like a 4 CPU, 500 gig hard drive sort of virtual machine set up. And it really has sort of done what it needs to do. And the first time you create a Google Cloud, it gives you some credits. And so this has actually been free for us for the entire semester. We haven't reached our sort of free trial status, $237 in credit remaining. So we'll probably continue to use this in the spring, and it actually won't cost us anything for this first year, which is really nice. Once you get this set up, there's no real server management to do. You just give the students this external IP link here, and usually because it is just sort of a random, I want to show this, that I have had to tell students that you have to sort of click past virus protection sometimes because it's just sort of a random IP address for a URL. But once you do, you get sort of a standard WebMO login, which is pretty nice. And so we have WebMO Pro, and we installed WebMO Pro through the Google Cloud server. And so every student has their own account, and I can manage those accounts. And here's me trying to get NWChem to really run anything. I have frustrations with NWChem at times. But Psi4, you can see those actually do complete successfully. So I think there's some organic students right now trying to do some stuff on eugenol that they extracted from cloves in the lab this semester. If you're not sort of completely unfamiliar with WebMO, just to give you sort of a 30-second sort of deal, is that it's very interactive, which is really nice. They have a mobile app that you can use too to connect to the web server that's hosting it. And you can sort of visualize vibrational modes, which is really nice, and even sort of see an IR spectra of sorts. So this is run in MoPack, not Psi4, but it's one that I had already run, and MoPack runs in less than 4 seconds because it's, well, not quantum. So just to sort of show you, and this has been really nice. So just to sort of share that cloud services are pretty nice to use with Psi4 and WebMO together, and that we've been successfully doing it in our classroom.